We too should become the voice, the pillar, and the structure of some of these leaders that we think are the best among us. Don't misconstrue. I'm going to tell you this. Among this younger generation in Nigeria, even some of Nigerians that are abroad, my brother, you have some credible individuals. You have some guys that are super smart, that are very creative, that are very exposed, and with the ability to take the necessary risk. So we have to use our voices to shoot these people to prominence. It is not a crime if your platform is used sometimes to even interview a Maya nation and put it out there and let people listen. It is not a bad thing if you and I, maybe in Italy where you are, maybe there is a Nigerian that did something that is very good and unique. It is not a bad thing if your platform becomes that person's voice. And across the world like that, we have to continue this fight because these crew leaders, they are not ready to leave, my brother. The worst thing they are even doing now is that they are recreating themselves. Not just recreating themselves, they are recreating themselves through their own nuclear families. In Ondo State, for example, you know what Akeredolu did? After he became governor for the second time, he took his first son and made him the chief of one thing. That young man has learned so much criminality from his father to the extent that today he awards contract even without his father contributing to it. So he is using that to make money for himself. So what do you think his father is doing? He's recreating himself. That is how people like Bukola Saraki became what they are today. Because his own father too was just as cruel as him. So his father kept him somewhere, nurturing him in abroad. As soon as he was ripe enough, he brought him home, schooled him, and look at Saraki too. Luther. So that is another thing they are doing. So when their father dies, they take over. You get the logic. So you now wonder why it is so difficult for them to invest in the people. Another thing they do is that they select few individuals that they can manipulate at will. They give them certain position, and through that they mentor them to become thieves as well, to become just as cruel as they are, so that they can continue this line, this chain of evil.
So that the system can continue to perpetuate itself in eternity.
That is what they're doing, my brother. So that is why we cannot stop telling the truth.
Towards 2023, because that'll be the pointer for the conversation. What would you like to tell Nigerians, particularly young Nigeria, because I've done a lot of interviews. Tomorrow I also have some interview with some people that are both participating or spectating on. A lot of young people are particularly interested in this election, and that is something positive. So what would you like to say to them in terms of what they should consider before voting? Because at the end of the day, we are also participating. I believe that if the Nigerian people suddenly realize that they want a change, if they really want the change, those in national role will not have enough power to control them. Because the power really is in the people, please.
What is driving the current political trend in Nigeria is not actually the right conversation. Because if you listen to Nigerian youths you listen to the messages they are passing across, you will see that most of their position is driven by ethnicity and religion. The present ruling class, they deliberately did that because
Yeah,
that
you're
is
right on that
how they
again.
can divide and rule the people. Peter Obi became so popular not because he is the best candidate among all of them. It is because the Igbos believe that it is their turn. So what the people of Igbo did is to create a very strong propaganda. They, they, they created this network of propaganda in such a way that, they blow it everywhere. Suddenly, Peter Obi, that does not have good scorecard at home, become a populist candidate. Atiku, on the other hand, is one of the worst evil that has ever come out of Nigeria. How come it becomes so popular? Again, they use the same religion and ethnicity. And they also took advantage of the hunger and threat that they unleashed on Nigeria to make him seem like he is the only person, that have what it takes to confront the current situation and to also make sure that Bola Ahmed Tinubu from the West, does not become the president of Nigeria. Not necessarily because Atiku understands Nigeria or that he has solution. No. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu, on the other hand, what is he doing? They're talking about him or his political party choosing, not necessarily because he knows what he is doing or he even have recognition, necessary for the office he's vying for, or even the health, but just because they feel he is the only person that can take the fight to the northern cabals. That is all. The critical issues that these present crops of Nigerians, these young Nigerians are not asking is that what is our own place in this scheme of things? Remember, in 2015, when they were the same Nigerians came out en masse, including Obayele Sowore and co, to say Buhari is the only option. But the Nigerian people didn't ask the question, where is our place in this whole calculations? They didn't ask. So what did these people do? They bought them out using rice and wine, like
Tinubu is saying,
yeah,
he don't know.
that's what they've been doing. So they use that and pay some people off at the polling booth, give them 5,000, 30,000, they pay them off so that when it is time for them to recoup all this money, nobody will say, oh, we were in the equation, we already paid you off. So the critical question these Nigerians should be asked right now is that where are we in this whole calculation? Where do you place us? Where is our place? As we are canvassing a new order, what will be our own contribution or what do you owe us? Nigerians are not asking that critical question. You see where I'm coming from? So these are the questions they should be asking. If you're talking to some of these candidates, ask them, how are you going to make sure Nigerians and Nigerian youths become the engine room or become the drivers, of your idea? Because it is one thing to have an idea. It is another thing for you to use your people and the right people to bring your idea to life. You cannot, if you have brilliant ideas and you put bad people in place, what do you think will happen? The idea will become redundant.